This week on Three Dad Bods.
She just enjoys listening to you guys, listening, the quirky, funny things that Shawn spits out, Carl's crazy antics, my know-it-all routine.
Sarcastic, witty, and not afraid to mix it up. Pop open a cold one and welcome to Three Dad Bods.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so Shawn and I are in a different boat than you are, Carl. So I'm just kind of curious today, what kind of things Shawn and I'll go over a couple things, and then Carl, like you're back in that dating pool
Back in the
again.
saddle.
Like, I'm curious how
Well,
people
let's
go
keep
on
it PG.
dates these
She's
days.
listening.
Well, dude, you haven't done anything R-rated, so
What do we
No,
say?
I know.
okay with
What do we
that.
say?
Well, I know how you could take saddle and make it into
No, no,
something
no, 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 no.
sexual.
But what I'm curious about is like how do people even date these days? Because so much information about you, so easy to access, and like dating
Yeah, they have
websites
your credit report before you even go out. No, I'm just kidding.
and
It's not a
Yeah,
bad,
it's
not a
it's not a
bad
bad
thing.
idea. Yeah. Uh, no, I don't know. When I first got divorced, I didn't really want to go out very often, but of course, you sign up for these dating sites, and the younger guys know how to do it a lot better than guy my age. But they want all these stupid questions about your interests, of course, and all you're looking at on the female side is if they're pretty or not, and swiping right or swiping left. You don't really read anything. Anybody that says otherwise is lying their ass off. So, and then the women actually take a little more time, and thankfully, and read what you actually wrote. So if you're the guy, I highly recommend that you really take some time to write a good profile
I would just
description.
write
Because if you're
blah 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 blah
well,
blah. Nobody even reads this blah.
if your pictures suck, yeah, or you do something that makes people laugh.
I
So
hear
Brent,
people
you
like it if you
probably
hold a fish in your pictures.
some female. There's a lot of that. That's kind of weird too. But anyway, you just get lucky. Like I was on Facebook. I've had the most success with Facebook dating, which is kind of odd. And so
There's a
come
thing
on,
called Facebook dating.
yeah, Facebook dating. So basically, it's a kind of the same thing as swiping. So this last year, I finally got serious about dating and went on a few dates earlier in the year,
Okay,
like
let me
serious,
ask you
like
this real quick. Like,
yeah.
what changed or what made you, first of all, why weren't you interested before? And then what changed to make you interested in dating again?
Well, I mean,
Was it just position where
to
your
be
kids
honest, I
are
kind of
growing
had
up or?
some issues that I had to work through.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
part of it. That was my excuse, at least. I think part of it was I'm still, and even now, I'm still a little gun shy. I mean, a relationship really takes commitment, and it takes a lot of emotional energy. And when you're raising kids, for example, and you got work, and you're in what you think is a great life going on, you don't really think too hard about, do I have time to go out and meet people? And I'm not the type that's lonely that often. I mean, I was the oldest in my family. I was alone for 4 years before the second one showed up, and we kind of resented the fact that she did at first. And so, to me, I mean, being alone isn't a big deal. And so I kind of like being a bachelor, like doing what I want, when I want, how I want, and just going out when I want, which isn't until recently very often. But now the kids are getting out of moving out, I'm kind of going, man, I really guess I don't want to be by myself. I want to have a partner when I go out on vacation. I want to be able to talk to someone about how crappy the day was, and also be there for them. And so, anyway, recently I just kind of opened up a little more. And anyway, I met someone in the last month that I really like. And so That's the one that lives down south, and it's one of those moments that I had before the date. Actually, our first date, I was kind of like going, "Do I really want to do this?" Because
Is it
I like this
scarier
girl.
now? Because like what the time period that Shawn and
Yes.
I were talking about, the worst that could happen is like she failed, like junior math. But now you got like
Well, back.
they're gonna have kids and they're gonna have an ex and maybe another ex and maybe another ex and they're gonna have,
I
a
hate to sound,
bankruptcy
yeah, I hate
and
to sound immature, but back in our day when we were younger, I was just looking at the quickest way to breed and have
Knock
children,
boots.
did that
Yeah.
work? Did that work?
Well, not long term,
And you've
but
got some great kids.
I have great
Yeah.
kids. Yeah, that was actually very successful, and actually Charlene's a great person, and we're still good friends. But I just, my problem was it's just I don't want to fail again, and
Hmm.
that's kind of
First of all, Carl, you
something
didn't
that you
fail.
think about. Yeah, well, it kind of
First
I
of all,
know,
you
but
didn't fail.
yeah, well,
I'm telling you
it's
as your
kind of
buddy.
it's just hard.
It
And
is.
so anyway, I just had to kind of suck it up and realize that don't be afraid of the future because you don't know what it's going to be like. You can't predict it. And so I thought, you know what? Hell with it. I'm taking a leap and we're going to see how this works out. And so, I showed up. She didn't know that I was having second thoughts about even going on the date, but then it turned out to be a great, wonderful experience and I can't wait to see her again. So
That's awesome, man.
that's
That's good.
yeah, I mean, it was funny though that the previous episode you guys really said you need a woman, dude, and I was like, I do. You don't know how much that statement is true, but you think about it too. I mean, I, you totally undervalue how important a relationship is in your life after a few years of just blocking everything out and.
The
That's
same can be said for people who have been married for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you start
True.
to
take it for granted,
take
right?
it for granted, and I know that there have been times in my marriage when I've definitely, have not paid the, right kind of attention or the amount of attention or, just taken for granted, as you said, my relationship. So, good for you, Carl.
Yeah,
I'm happy that you're met a cutie and
hopefully this time I'm wise enough not to screw it up, so we'll do that.
So what are some
We're
things,
gonna
Shawn,
go
that you
for it.
guys do?
it always takes two to party, Carl.
I know. And
Do you guys still go
I'm not
dancing,
saying
Shawn?
it. What's that?
I was wondering if Shawn still goes dancing. Is that a no?
No.
Haven't for a long time.
Well, hey, okay, my turn, you two.
But it's
All
too
right,
bad
I'm gonna
because it's a lot of fun. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun, So
I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Hold on,
and
let me say
between the
something
two
that
of
we
you.
do, just so you
Yeah.
guys are aware. Okay?
I don't want to know what you do,
No, you kind of do want to know this.
especially if
stuff.
it's freaky.
I'm going to tell you. Every Wednesday night, when our podcast comes out, Tracy and
I
I
do
go on a
this.
ride.
Yeah.
We go on a ride and we listen to the podcast together. We just drive.
Yeah.
We go to there's a little Mexican place that sometimes we'll stop at and get these coconut waters. But she enjoys it. She just enjoys listening to you guys, listening, the quirky, funny things that Shawn spits out, Carl's crazy antics, my know-it-all routine that I'll always go through. But that's like one of our one of our favorite things to do just together is just to go out on a little ride.
Oh, that's
out,
cool.
Fun.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
no,
Carl.
that's
I
really
didn't mean to interrupt
Now,
you there.
is
but I
that
wanted
why
to
you
throw
get
that out.
after me if I don't have it
I
out
do, man.
Wednesday night?
I'm like, damn it, Carl, put this thing out, man. We gotta get out of the
You
house.
make it sound like all the listeners are caring. It's really you at your date.
It's
Okay. That's right.
Go
Brent
ahead, Carl.
wants to get some that night, and I'm screwing it up for him. Dang it! All right. Well, okay. Here's what I was going to ask you guys. And this is, I think anyone in a marriage or serious relationship can fall out of love, and so I'm going to ask, Brent. That was a really good story about how you guys stay connected. Shawn, what do you do, or first of all, what do you do to recreate that fire? And second, what do you think you could do better at this stage to even increase that passion or that fire in your relationship with Rachel?
So, yeah.
It's
So,
a tough question, I know.
well, I mean, there's a lot of,
We
man,
love you, by the way, Shawn, and
Yeah,
we love your wife, and that's why
I
I'm
was going to
asking you this
say
question.
Rachel is
So,
absolutely awesome. I love Rachel. She's fantastic.
thank you.
Yeah.
She is pretty amazing, actually. Uh, so, she's a psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she doesn't just play one on TV. She actually went to a lot of school. A lot of school. So there's this thing called love languages. I'm sure you guys have heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So her love languages, one that is the most important to her is acts of service. So doing things for her. So like if I do something that she would normally do, or just whatever, that for her that's really important to her. Or if I do something nice for my kids, that's for whatever reason I don't get it, but and she said, men, if you really want to make points with your wife and you have young children, be an extremely good dad. Love your kids, spend time with them, change their diapers if they're little, and they're in diapers, and you want to turn your wife on, change your kids' diapers. So, and people, other women who talk to her or who I've been around while they've been talking and she says stuff like that, they're like, "Oh yeah, yep, totally, totally. I've never been more attracted to my husband than when he's elbows deep in baby stuff, Like, oh wow,
Baby crap.
that's
That's nasty.
weird, man. But they say that that's true. These people admit it. So I just try to do nice things for her.
I was gonna say, now with the kids gone, what's well, I mean, is there like, let me ask you a question, because there's like day-to-day stuff that I'm sure makes her happy that you do, but do you think there's something that will just like blow her socks off that you can plan in the future? I'm actually giving you a challenge because I care about you guys, and I mean, after going through what I went through, guys, I don't want you two to ever have to go through that, and I'm sure you don't either.
So
what do you think you could do that would blow her away?
I just continue on with what I was saying. Just be really
Mm-hmm.
consistent in doing that stuff, not just do it like every once in a while, but consistently do
Mm-hmm.
nice things to
Okay.
take the load off of her, and just to help her with time away from work. So, but
And reciprocally,
I'm a numbskull. You both know that I work a lot.
I know.
I work hard. I work a lot. I work too much. And so for me, I need to do things like that, and instead of being at work, late or going in on the weekends like I do a lot.
Well,
Not,
what
not do that stuff.
I'm being kind of a jerk right now. I'll admit it, but I'm doing it because I love you, man. But could she do to really spark your passion in the relationship? What kind of things does she do to help you? Because sometimes it's just good to hear it.
Yeah, for me, I just like being able to spend time with her, and then for me, that's my love language, spending time together. And that's I'm easy to I don't have I'm not complicated. I'm about as simple as they come. So
Mm-hmm.
spending time together is really all I need, and I'm good.
Some more vacations
Doesn't
together.
matter what we're doing. No, it doesn't have to. Of course, I love going on vacations. I love traveling, but just spending time together. And I don't care if it's going to the grocery store and just walking aisles and just doing whatever. for me, that's good enough.
You know, I have a good story about doing the little things that I want to tell you about my grandpa. Every morning, he would get out of bed. He'd complain about her most of the time, though, any of the other times. But every day, he would get out of bed and set her plate on the kitchen table and make her breakfast and make her favorite beverage, which was usually orange juice, every single day. Despite all the bitching he'd, say to me in private about how she doesn't want to do this or do that, but because grandpas are
Spit on
always
it?
that way. And what's that?
Would he spit on it?
No, he didn't spit on it. But what was cute about it was it's that little thing, and she really appreciated it. And I think that's what kept them together was just what Shawn said. Those little tiny things she really appreciated. So that was a good point, Shawn.
Well, it's sometimes if you're doing big things, it's because you're trying to make up for being a screw up, which
True.
we're all men, so all of us have screwed up plenty. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
Brent,
starting
your
to
turn
feel
to be on.
guilty. I'm starting to feel guilty, like I don't do enough.
Well, that's why I kind of put you on the hot seat. Brent's next, though, so we can have fun with Brent. Okay, Brent, you do that with her on Wednesday night. Is that how she Is that how you show her? Because I know you're pretty busy too during the week. Is that kind of because you guys do a lot together, though, from what I understand. You also do a lot of stuff on the weekends with your kids and go to games and what does
last year
she
we
do
would.
that really just makes your toes curl, other than
It's
keep it
just
PG?
her. It's just
Okay.
her. I mean, there is nobody who cares more than she does, and that's what I absolutely love about her. Is whether it's kids, whether it's me, putting up with the dick that I am every single day.
Yeah, you make
She
her
just
laugh, dude. She loves that
and I
about you.
think I think that's why she likes going on, our little road trips. Last year we went and visited a lot of baseball stadiums and saw some games and stuff like that. And that was kind of our little go-to, like just two of us together because when you first get married, it's new, it's fresh. I mean, even though we've been dating for 8 years, we still was a lot we didn't know about each other. She didn't know about my bad gas, and I didn't know about how bad she snores at night. We still sleep on the same side of the bed as when we first were married. It's our own little spots on the bed and stuff like that. And then, you have kids, and your life becomes so enthralled with your kids that just rotates around them, which is perfectly normal. That's what good parents do. You do everything for your kids, and so you spend so much time, and then there's, I think every marriage has it. There's a drifting apart. Your kids start to get older. You start to kind of wonder what's going on, where you are in your life, and
Mm-hmm.
and we still have moments like that. It's just natural. 26 plus years of being married. It's just a natural thing, especially in today's environment with everything that goes on around you all the time. And so if you can get through those little hurdles, which, God, it was rough, she'll be
Some
the
of them
first
aren't
to tell
little
you.
either.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't always been rosy peaches. I'm not an easy person to live with, but um, stop and sit back and realize, for me, there's nobody there's nobody that knows me better than she does. She knows me better than I know me.
Hmm.
And that's what I
Wow.
love about her is like if I'm sick, if I need help or whatever, she's my automatic go-to. I'll curl
Mm-hmm.
up on her, she'll know exactly what to do to take care of me, and that's what I love about her. And so, yeah, she puts forth a lot of effort to make things special between us. Hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. And Shawn was kind of talking because he gets so busy with work. I work a lot. She works a lot. I went to a funeral this last weekend. I was going to bring this up at the beginning, and then I decided not to and stuff. But I think this is kind of a good time
No,
right
it's a
now.
good
But
time. Yeah.
and so one of the things as I get older and I go to these funerals, they have more of a deeper meaning to me than in the past. Maybe because I'm a lot closer to that point now than I was in the past, But one of the things I was thinking about is work and life and everything. And I think it's important that we realize that we we should use work to live and not live to work, if that makes
Hey, man.
sense. Our life shouldn't be working all the time. That's not what it should be. Our life should be, we only work to help us have fun in life, to take care of the things that we want in life. And if we are living to work, then we're doing it too much. If we're not having time for ourselves and for our families, then we're doing it way too much. And so, you were kind of talking to Shawn about that, and I was kind of just reflecting on myself. And I think, it's one of the things I'm going to try and do more is I'm going to work to live and not live to work and enjoy
Good.
those moments.
Well, and you think about someone, you brought up the funeral, they don't talk about work. I mean, most funerals, they talk about the family. They talk about how much they're going to miss the individual and the funny things he did, or who he was as a person, or she was as a person. They don't talk about, oh, there was this. I mean, he worked at Vivint for 8 years, and I was just so proud of him because he never come home at night, and I just know he was working so hard for the family. No, it's more about the regrets of missing opportunities. Like, one of the things I really regret, and I think Charlene would agree with it, is we went to a timeshare pitch, which they know how to do well. And one of the things the guy said is, raise your hand if you remember this, or you remember winning a trophy in high school. And how many of you remember the trip to Disneyland? I raised my hand because I was like, oh, I'm sold. Because he's right. How many times, you always remember the times that you're together and you're making memories. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many mundane days do you remember? And so if you don't have many of those fun experiences to look back at, you're going to regret it probably. And right. So I mean, it's hard to tell young parents that because it's so hard with kids, like you said, Brent. I mean, it's such a struggle. I mean, it's a sacrifice. And I mean, the kids that don't want to do it these days, I mean, I understand, but I still think they should, but, because it does make you a better person eventually. But I'm just saying, I just wish, the only regret I had is taking the money and time, even though we didn't have the money, just taking the damn time and going out and doing something, even if it was inexpensive, and just spending more time with her and developing that friendship.
Our family vacations for years was travel baseball, because we would go to Alabama, we would go to Georgia, we would go to Kentucky, we would go to Ohio. I mean, those were our family trips. And, we were with friends, we had fun. Yeah, you make with what you can do. And look, something as simple as just getting in the car and flipping on a podcast and opening up the sunroof is great. You get away from
grabbing a sundae,
the world for a while,
Yeah. Or a health drink nowadays because of our age. I'm not recommending other bees at this age, but yeah, exactly.
I'm feeling
that was
guilty.
Awesome, guys.
I'm feeling so guilty right now because I work too much.
Hey, the dating apps aren't fun, Shawn. So so get after it, bud. So yeah, seriously. I'm serious.
I'm not. I know you are, and I'm sitting here, listening to Brent talk about that, and
that's a great message, Brent.
I'm actually feeling really terrible right now because I work.
Don't feel terrible. She's still married to you. Well, just go out and get it done. Yeah, you can do it.
The good thing, Shawn. The good thing, Shawn, is you can control that.
Yeah, yes, you can. So
that's the good
I love
thing
you too. I don't want you guys to. I won't recommend it to everybody. Okay. So this time I'm not going to screw up. So.
Do you want to know the other crazy thought I had at this funeral? Sorry, guys, to go off topic, but you know how like when we lose somebody, we feel so sorrowful. We feel like they're gone. And they're not gone. Nobody's gone. They've moved on. They're doing something else, but they're not gone. So, we've kind of
Dude,
talked
that's
about
just you
having,
just define divorce, dude. That's exactly what you go through: grieving
yeah,
period
but
and anger, and
y-
finally move on.
but
So it's terrible.
so when like when somebody passes on, we think of those memories, we think of everything with it, but we were once talking about having an episode about near-death experiences, and talking to some people that have had some. And one of the common things that they talk about is a welcoming feeling that they had of joy, of happiness, of a reunion that they talk about, right? So I
Hmm.
was thinking, like, I wonder, because nobody ever talks about when you're born. Like, when we're born, I wonder if, in heaven or wherever it is, if there's like sorrow, like,
Celebration.
well, no,
Oh,
not
you mean?
celebration, but like sorrow because
Oh, I see what
we're
you're saying.
gone from heaven. And then, when we return, there's this great welcoming, oh, you're back, you know what I mean?
You
Like
know
a
what,
reverse type
Brent?
of
When
thing.
God got rid of the two of us, He was pretty damn happy.
There's a huge party going on.
Yeah, it's like we got those two troublemakers out of here.
But that's one of the things I was thinking about is like, I wonder if when we're born, if there's like a great sadness from up
Oh, that's a
above
good question.
because, they've been gone and then they're waiting for us to come back. We come back and there's that joyful reunion. So anyway, happy note on
I
that,
think we
that
should
for you.
still do that near death one. That's fascinating. I love that subject.
It'll be a
There's
good
an
one.
actual movie out right now called Afterlife, guys. I haven't seen it yet, but if you guys have a chance to see it, it's one of those like weird B movie studio ones, but it's supposedly supposed to be really good. So anyway,
Great
all
episode,
right, guys.
guys. Shawn, I hope you've
Yeah,
enjoyed this intervention we've
you
had with
okay,
you.
Sean? You're quiet, man. Don't want
We
you to be
just
mad. Are you not mad? Are you?
we just
No,
gave Shawn an intervention.
I love you, dude. Don't be mad at me. I'm just trying to help out.
no, I'm not mad at you guys. You brought something up that I think I've been feeling a little bit guilty about the fact that how much I work, and maybe I need
Yeah,
to try to do something about that.
Well, when you get home
I think
tonight, you give
your
Rachel a big
kids,
old hug and a kiss.
your grandkids too, will love you a little more, Sean, if you spend more time with them. The only memories they have is when they're with you, not when you're at work. Remember that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I mean I think about that, and I have some really amazing memories of my grandparents that I am so glad I have. And yeah,
yeah.
I took my grandson to the zoo this weekend, so
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's cool. Did you guys? What did you do? Just tell us the story a little bit. What happened?
Just took him to the zoo. He had a good time. You know, we bought him a little toy that had some animals and a zookeeper with some uh, magnifying glasses, and he went home, and we got a picture of him playing with his toys, and his dad said he's using the magnifying glasses so he can see the animals. I'm watching the animals,
That's so
so
cool, man.
yeah, so
You,
it's
you, uh, you,
I
you
love
got.
kids'
I'd love to see you
imaginations.
in a video of being grandpa. I'm so jealous. I wish I was a grandpa, but I'm not yet. So
yeah, it's cool. He's a good little kid, little Manny. He's great.
well, Glenn, that's the one thing I really admired about him is just how much his grandkids loved him. I mean,
Yeah.
that dude just loved the heck out of his grandkids, and
He was a really fantastic grandpa. And you know what? There were a few times that I had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with him when he was with his family, and he was just a silly dad with his kids. And um, I actually have thought more than once that I would like to have been a little bit more like Glenn as a father than I was. I was sometimes a little too serious, and Glenn just liked to have fun, and I think that is a good representation for all of us, and a good example for all of us. Just and Brent's good at this too. Have fun with the people that you love, and that's something that I need to, I think, work a little bit more at. So I appreciate his example. And I appreciate your examples, even though you're both turds. So
Sorry,
You
that
okay,
was, that was
bud?
hard.
Okay, Carl? Man.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Glenn.
yeah,
It's hard,
So
buddy.
anyway,
you got to do that every once in a while, Carl.
the wave hit.
Keep
You know what I'm saying?
keep the
wave
memories
hit.
alive, man.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry guys, that
Yeah.
was unexpected.
It's all right. It's
No,
all right.
you're
It's
fine,
good.
man. You're good.
Yeah.
It happens, man. It happens. Great episode, guys. And
Yeah.
I think, reality and those who've been around us and stuff, the three of us haven't changed that much. Yes, we
No.
have different interests. Yes, we have different things we've gotten into, but we're still the same three goofballs that were crossing our legs in Sunday school and the count of three in our heads, getting in
Farting in
trouble and all
church.
that stuff,
Yeah.
hanging out in neighborhoods, never wore a shirt between the ages of 8 and 16, same
Always getting in
exact
trouble.
people. And Carl, you kind of brought up some good points that there's some times when we gotta let other people go back and see those little kids of us that kind of drew what people liked us in the first place. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to be that little kid anymore. Good stuff, guys.
Amen,
Good
man.
stuff.
Oh, my
Amen.
wife was always telling me that I'm immature, so maybe I do that too much.
I think she likes your She must like your humor, or you wouldn't even be married still.
No,
so.
Shawn, she said you're in manure. You're in the shit house is what you are, buddy. That's what she was saying.
That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
I mean, I've met your wife. We had breakfast with her that one morning. She's a wonderful lady. You're a lucky man, dude. So,
Yeah, she grew up
Yeah.
on the other side of town. She wasn't spoiled.
yeah, she was a nice gal. Your whole family. You've got great kids and great family. So,
Thanks to
anyway,
my
go
wife.
enjoy them more, Shawn. Yeah, definitely enjoy that family. Because that's the other thing. You don't know how much longer you have. I don't either. Brent doesn't. I was just thinking about Glenn. I mean, I'm sure he'd want to stick around another 20 years with those grandkids. And I was just thinking, damn it, he doesn't get to.
He did.
Yeah, he doesn't get to. And
No.
I feel that's why I was sad. That's why I kind of had a hard time there, because I'm damn lucky to have another chance. And so,
Every
hopefully-
day is a gift.
amen.
It really is.
Amen.
Well,
That really should be our motto. Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
Guys,
that was
great
an emotional
episode. Wonderful one,
Yeah.
guys. And listeners, talk to your friends, have them give us a chance. We really encourage you guys to plug us. We appreciate, all of you who take the time to listen to our quirky little podcast. We hope that we spark memories, that you may have, maybe spark some ideas or some thoughts, but we really hope you enjoy it. And we'd love to hear from you guys. We're always open to our suggestions. We love hearing, what our listeners say. And again, thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Three Dad Bods, and make sure to catch their past episodes on Spotify, Apple, and Google, or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure and leave a comment to help stroke their fragile egos.